the show, we talked about the Supreme Court's order today on the birth control mandate under Obamacare, and at the center of the whole case are the nuns from the Little Sisters of the Poor. Sister Constance Viet and Mark Rienzi, lead attorney for the Little Sisters of the Poor case, are both here to go on the record. Nice to see both of you.
Thank you.
Good to see you, Greta.
Sister, first to you. I mean, to me, it looks like a victory because at least you don't have to pay the penalty, at least not now, and it looks like the court has sent it down to say, handle it.
Yes, I mean, for us, today was a very good day, and we're very happy with the result. First of all, as you mentioned, of not having, being protected from the fines because they're just huge at $70 million a year, and also for the court to have recognized the legitimacy of our religious liberty concerns. So it was a good day.
Mark, I'm surprised the court did this. I mean, I think it was a wise thing to do, but I've never seen the court sort of almost act like a mediator and said first they heard argument, then they said a day or so later, we want you to answer these questions, and now they're saying, okay, here's the solution, now go figure it out and fix it.
Yeah, I think it is kind of unprecedented for the court to have to take that role, and it's really a shame that they've had to do it. For years, the sisters have been saying, look, if you can do this for all these other people in the country, you can find a way to do this without me. It really shouldn't be that hard to come up with ways to give out contraceptives without nuns involved. So we're happy that the court has told the lower courts to go think about it again, and that they've pointed out that the government has said they have other ways to do this, and that's all the sisters have ever asked for.
Sister, when the case was first filed, I thought as a lawyer, I thought, boy, it's the last thing I'd want to do is go up against the sister, the sisters. I mean, that's just like about your worst nightmare as a lawyer. I mean, tell me a little bit about your order. How many nuns are there in your order about?
There's about 2,300 nuns internationally. We serve the elderly poor in 31 countries. Here in the United States, we have 27 homes, and we are about 300 Little Sisters. So this really affects, our houses here in the United States.
Well, it would have wiped you out. I mean, nobody could pay $70 million a year. What were you thinking if you had lost this? What was going to happen?
We really didn't have a plan if we lost because we've been around since 1839, and God has protected us and provided for us all those years, and so we just have been praying like crazy and trusting that he was going to see this through to a good resolution. Did
you go to the argument when it was in the Supreme Court in March?
Yes, I was inside.
And what do you think?
It was very interesting. I mean, it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I was impressed with that. I was equally impressed with the rally of our supporters outside. It was just a wonderful day.
Mark, what I don't understand is even how it got to that. Was the Justice Department unwilling to negotiate something which would carve the sisters out from doing something that conflicted with their religious beliefs?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the case. The government has backed up an inch at a time, but they won't simply do the right thing and say, contraceptive delivery doesn't have to involve Catholic nuns. So they should just give them an exemption like they've given to lots of big companies across the country. Well, you'd have to ask them that question. They refuse. They say that they need to make sure that anybody who goes and works for Catholic nuns can get these drugs, but they don't take the same approach for like Exxon and Visa and some big companies with grandfathered plans.
But even churches. I mean, but a church doesn't. The churches have a carve-out, right? The exemption.
Yes, they do.
But the nuns didn't.
And that is correct.
And she goes back to
1839.
And I mean, I take it your beliefs haven't changed since 1839, the order.
No.
So this is not a surprise. You didn't just pull a fast one.
No, but somehow the administration made a distinction between churches and then works of the church, whereas for us, we feel just as much a part of the church, just as much church as the church, the parish down the street. There's no distinction.
And what's really ridiculous is if the sisters would stop taking care of the elderly poor and instead would just sit in their homes and pray, then the government would say they're exempt. But because they go out and do the wonderful work that they do, they're covered by the mandate.
Well, congratulations, Sister Mark. Thank you both very much. And why did a Baltimore